guys, welcome back to another one. What's on the menu today is a very easy, quick, yummy, moist chocolate cake. This is my favorite, guys. It's a great recipe, especially if you're craving something sweet or if your kids are on a long holiday like here in Kenya and they keep saying, I'm hungry. These humans have such a huge appetite for this economy. So guys, don't sweat it. There's no basket kitchen, always gotcha. We are your tag for great homemade foods and treats like these ones and more. So make sure you press that subscribe button if you're not yet subscribed. Turn on your post notifications to get notified every time we post a new one. Like, share, and leave me a comment with your thoughts and suggestions. And for my returning and my new subscribers, you guys are my sugar, spice, and everything nice. So guys, hit that subscribe button and let's get started. So guys, I used this standard size measuring cup, which is equivalent to 250 grams to measure out my ingredients. So for this recipe, I used very simple ingredients, which are 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of icing sugar or just your regular sugar, 2 eggs, 1 cup chocolate powder, 2 cups buttermilk, which is just regular milk with a squeeze of lemon or just warm milk, 1 tablespoon vanilla essence, 1 cup of vegetable oil, I use sunflower oil, 1 tablespoon of white or apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon salt, 2 teaspoons baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder, which is optional. So in a big mixing bowl, I cracked in my 2 eggs and stirred them for about 2 to 3 minutes. I added in my cup of icing sugar or just regular sugar. Doesn't matter, they all should work. I normally start with wet ingredients first, then I put in my dry ingredients. This is an easy, non-complicated method, guys, since we will just add everything in one bowl. And remember to preheat your oven beforehand, guys. So guys, here I'm just adding in my ½ cup of icing sugar, or you can just use your regular sugar. Sugar will make our cake moist. You might be tempted to add less for health reasons. Don't, just add enough. So guys, I used this whisk of mine to mix everything together. If you don't have it, you can use a fork. You'll just need to use more elbow grease. Next, we'll add in the cup of oil and mix it in to combine. This gives the batter a great texture, and stirring them for longer is what gives our cake a fluffy texture. So guys, for all the ingredients and the measurements that I used, check them down on the description box below. Look at that, guys. This is just the texture that we are looking for. Yeah, it's runny and thick. Looks very nice. Next, we add in 2 cups of buttermilk or just warm milk. And next goes in the teaspoon of vanilla extract. Stir to combine. Next are our dry ingredients. So I used 2 cups of flour and I fluff my flour up like this to make it less dense. You get more accurate measurements, especially if you're using a cup to measure as opposed to just scooping the flour without fluffing it. I've actually used a scale to measure the flour with and without fluffing it, and the flour that I fluffed, I got more accurate measurements when I fluffed it. So with baking, you have to get the temperature and the ingredients right to achieve a nice moist cake with the right texture. My first cakes were not as great, but with time I mastered and corrected the mistakes. So don't be afraid. If you're just starting out, you'll definitely get better with practice and time. So here I'm just adding in my cup of cocoa powder. This is unsweetened. It's just plain cocoa powder. And next, I'm going to be adding in my tablespoon of salt. The salt evens out the taste. My 2 tablespoons of baking soda. My 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder, which is optional. You can also use coffee powder, guys. So stir everything up to combine. And guys, be very careful not to overmix your batter or undermix it. Just mix it for about 2 to 3 minutes. The result of overmixing cakes yields dense, tough, or deflated cakes. So overmixed doughs and batters may have an unappealing look or feel, which remain just as unappealing when they're being baked. Like it doesn't have the right texture. It doesn't rise properly. So guys, also undermixing is not very good because this will cause the ingredients not to mix in properly and the air bubbles will form. So the right time to mix your cake is about 2 to 3 minutes. The batter will be mixed properly, all the ingredients will be combined. So overmixing or undermixing, avoid it completely. And guys, this is a trick that I'm going to be sharing by adding 1 tablespoon of vinegar, which is white vinegar or apple cider vinegar, or if you don't have vinegar, you can use lemon juice. It creates carbon dioxide bubbles, which act as leavening agents. So as the batter bakes, these tiny bubbles expand, causing the cake to rise and giving it that light, airy texture that we all love. Yeah, it gives it a fluffy texture, and you add it at the final stage just before baking it. So next, I'm going to be oiling my baking tray or my baking dish, whatever you're using. So this is to prevent the batter from sticking when you're removing your cake. So what I do, I just, brush it lightly with a little oil, and then I'm going to dust it with some flour so that when I add in my cake, when it's baked, when I'm getting it out of my dish, it doesn't stick or it doesn't crumble. If it makes sense, guys. So I just use enough, and then I'm just dusting it off. I'm just removing the excess. And next, I'm just going to add in my cake batter. As you can see, it's just the right texture. It's runny, it's not stiff, and it's not too runny either. It's just the right consistency, guys. It's not too runny and it's not too stiff, it's not too thick. And guys, remember my oven had been preheated for about 30 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. So it's very important to preheat your oven because the cake needs the right environment, the right temperature to rise. Yeah, and your butter should not be cold or too hot. That's why I recommended using warm milk. Your butter should be warm. The ingredients should be warm and not cold. So here I'm just scraping off the excess butter from my mixing bowl, and I'm just heating it to prevent air bubbles from forming or to get rid of any air bubbles. And here I'm just putting it in my oven, which is preheated at this point. So I baked my cake for 30 minutes. Yeah, and I baked it on the middle rack at 180 degrees Celsius or 360 degrees Fahrenheit. And our cake is finally ready. Look at that. This was 30 minutes later. And how you know your cake is ready, just pop in a fork or a toothpick, and if it comes out clean, your cake is ready, it's baked. So as you can see, mine has just the right texture. It's very fluffy, you know, the top, it didn't rise and break. It's just the right texture. So here I'm just putting it on a cooling rack, and I cooled it a bit before I put it on my rack so that it easily separates from my bowl. You guys remember the oil and the flour that we put, that prevented our cake from sticking. That's why it's separating easily here. Yeah, we don't want it to crumble because it's still a little hot right now. Yeah, and that's why we're going to cool it off on the rack. And guys, if it doesn't separate easily like this, just leave it to cool for a bit, like more further, until it easily gets out. So as you can see, I can handle my bowl, it's not very hot. So I'm just turning it over and cooling it on my rack. So I let it cool completely. And this is how it looks. Wow, look at that texture. It's very nice. So here I'm just transferring it to my plate. It has cooled, but it has not cooled completely, guys. I was a bit impatient. I was trying to finish this video, but you can leave it overnight, guys, on your counter to cool completely. And my wire rack just put these nice shapes on my nice shape on my cake. It looks amazing. Yeah, so let's have a bite. Look at that, guys. Wow. Look at that. It's so fluffy. And the texture, oh, this cake was amazing, guys. It was, and it's so easy to make. I just made it using like 30 minutes. It didn't take so long to make. Yeah, you bake it under 1 hour. Look at that fluff, guys. It was amazing. I think the next time, guys, I'm going to make a video and show you how to decorate it. This time I wanted a very easy cake. Like, I didn't want to complicate it with decorating. So the next cake I'll be making, I'm going to be showing you how to decorate such a cake. You can even make a Black Forest cake using this method. You just use cream. That will be the next like cake recipe I'm going to be making. So guys, you can have this for breakfast with your tea or coffee. You can have it as a dessert treat. You can even double the ingredients and make it for a birthday treat for your tots. And especially now that we are approaching holiday season, try it and let me know down on the comment section below. Give me a big thumbs up if you enjoyed watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and share it with your friends and family. Bon appetit! Thank you for watching. See you on my next one.